has always been one of the things that drew me to you and to X Clan is something that you and X Clan always exuded, and I always appreciated that. And I guess unlike others, I was never afraid of that. But I wanted you to also speak on, or what is to you, because power, whether that's internal or external, is very liberating because, to your point, you can't be bought, swayed, or whatever. You are able to stand on your own. So where does that, or where did that come, and how did that develop in you?
Well, one, the movements that I've joined throughout the years. You know, the strong comrades. You're as good as your environment. You know what I'm saying? If you come with an army of people talking about we're gonna shut something down, they better be powerful with you. You can't do it by yourself. So all of this has been training. Look, you were with me when I was at Suburban Noise. I was breaking ground there. They never had no black group in Suburban Noise. There was no need to. You're a suburban label. Y'all got growers and surfers and X Games and all kind of stuff. Where does X Clan fit into the situation? And the real deal is you got to expand. Your power is limited unless you expand. Once you let me in, then you're going to see cats, oh, y'all signing artists like that? Otherwise, they just saw that label as like weed culture and punk rock rap. Okay, now X Clan's there. Now you're like, oh, snap, y'all opening the doors? I saw it as Rush Management. I saw it as Fourth and Broadway, Loud Records. I'm saying you're independent in Burbank, California. You got your own tour grid. You know how much Cottonmouth Kings tour when they were popping, bro?
No, I know.
You all right? They were touring for real, for real. That's where Tech got it from. ICP and Cottonmouth Kings tour more than Jay-Z or any of these artists that are out there. They control their own grid. Guaranteed. They could come off the same grid, go home for 2 months and go back and hit a portion of it like they never even stepped into the performance stage. And I'm amazed by that. And I had to stop being so amazed and say, you know what? I built that at one time because Blackwards was that. Okay? I can go rent a 700 capacity spot in the 90s, bro, and 500 of those people would be Blackwards around the country. So I already had juggalos, already had triple crowners, already had all of these things in my cab. So I'm just seeing what it is in a 2000 standard. Yeah,
because I remember one time I saw you guys at University of Maryland back in the day. So it probably was 90 or 90, no, 91, 92-ish at University of Maryland. And I just remember you guys walking through the crowd, and it wasn't, for people that don't know, it wasn't just X Clan, it was Blackwards. So it was like 50, 60, 70 people. It wasn't just the rap group.
Thank you, brother. And look, man, when you have that much influence, you can't do corny stuff. When you're talking about, I was coming out with the X Clan album, and I have Sir Jinx, I got, Battle Cat, I got all kind of different producers. So now they get to hear, I've been doing that through Mecca. I had DJ Quick on Mainstream Outlaws. I had Bun B. I had all, Damian Marley, Stephen Marley did tracks with me. So I've had the higher level production, which kind of takes them out of the sampling ground. But now with power, saying I have my own brand, I got a pay-per-view stage, I got an arena situation that I can offer to artists of this caliber, different things. Now they're saying, what does that album sound like? Okay. Now all eyes on what kind of sound is going to come, what kind of message. Are you letting the power get to your head? Are you talking too pop? You're not sampling anymore. I tell people, grow up from oversampling. Okay, we can be inspired by catalog, but oversampling is not even adding a taste of creativity on it. Like I wouldn't do an East Blackwards. East Blackwards was a collage of samples as if I was a DJ with a chop machine. I shouldn't be doing that 30 years later, bro. Well, just being 100. It's not an art. It taxes. It's the reason that artists don't have their own. Okay, I gave away a house and a car doing that album. I gave away the right to do my own, build my own brand by not stopping to be a musician. The Fugees taught us This is the paper you can get when you become a musician. Okay? This is what you get when you take the time to say, okay, you thought I was whack? Let me come back with a guitar over my thing and hit you. And come on, man, Wyclef come out there, perform for 30 minutes, and Lauren and the homie haven't even hit the stage. Him and his cousin is sitting up there rocking, playing Mobb Deep, playing all kinds of, you got options when you learn more and you improve who you are and you reinvent yourself. So why wouldn't I come with the right instruments, to the heavier production, bands in the studio hitting it and doing it right, and then bringing that to the stage and then offering that to other artists that can't afford it, okay? Because they're not giving you budgets anymore to go and say, hey, your album is dope. Let me buy 50% of your publishing. Here's $100,000.
How do you see? This is always one of the challenges that I've found in life, is that on the one hand, we have to always grow, develop, and evolve. On the other hand, people want us to stay the same in their mind. They don't want us to. So how do you find that evolution works for you?
I learned that during Dark Sun, because Dark Sun was the first time they witnessed me without sampling. And I saw how petty my fan base can be. And I can talk to them because we're family. I said, you would rather have me forever be taxed by publishing companies for borrowing somebody's rhythm than try to expand into opening up and doing my own music. It was depressing, bro. Man, I like that new stuff you're doing, but nah, you got to go back to the funk. You got to go back and sample some gritty, whatever the case may be. I don't know too many producers or artists that are successful from doing that. Even Jay-Z has become a whole different music entity from the first days of, the last days of sampling heavy like that and just putting a drum pattern around shit. It's different now. He's buying the masters now. You're buying the Sam Cooke reel now and saying you want to be a partner with me now. That's a whole different science to me. If you're able to make a partnership with the people that made the music, that's a step up. Or even on a smaller scale for artists that are stuck in that sound, to say, go do business with them. Show them how worthy it is for them to say, hey, the people who own Roy Ayers' catalog, do 3 songs with me, because I want to compliment what Roy Ayers was saying and speak that language in 2020.
Yeah.
So just like, you feel me? That would be a business deal. Now you're dealing with popular music with you. Because part of the reason that I'm famous is because I sample popular music. If I just came out with my beat machine and did a Mantronics, I might not be here 30 years later having a conversation about X-Clan.
That's true. But to your point also, Jay-Z doesn't sound like Reasonable Doubt today, and that's because of his growth, evolution, development, and understanding all these things. And that's
correct.
That's the challenge that I've never understood, that when we have artists, we love them for being artistic, but then we want to limit their artisticness.
Exactly. You can't tell me to go back to me in a Black nationalist school that I was in 90s, put the crown on and put the stick on because you got some kind of Joneses for the old school feel. That's not going to happen. You will want to buy my album to say, what does a man of that caliber from back then to now, what the hell is on his mind? When I buy Jay-Z now, I want to know what a dude from Marcy who got rich, got one of the baddest shorties in the game on her own accord. Okay, you done made deals with Barclays, you done signed artists that were your rivals, you done did everything under the sun. You done dissed record company positions to say, this is beneath me. You run this, I'm gonna go over here. You took the dream and you just push it to the side. What do you think about right now? I wouldn't want to be like, yo, man, take it back to the old school when you were standing on the corner or doing whatever case may be. I wouldn't want to hear that from him. And I learned from him because part of him said, I'm not even listening to that BS. Y'all got to learn how to be better. I'm in the Getty Museum spitting rhymes with people you don't even know, power players from around the world sitting here with me talking gutter rap. and talking shit off the back of my head. My little 16 bar, 18 bar, whatever the hell may be. You know, that's power move to me. When you can just shut off and say, I'm not listening to y'all tell me what to do. Okay? You waited, you didn't expect me coming when I did. Nobody expected the beatbox from Hawaiian Sophie to be coming back talking about y'all one of the biggest hustlers in New York and you don't know it yet.
Yeah.
So why would you care now and be predictable for them to say, okay, Jay-Z's coming with that old school, whatever case may be. You got to wait for it to come down the pipe, man. And I had to learn that. Okay, I can't give you, I'm not going to go back and sample 50,000 things in the crates that I have in my studios just to please you. I'm going to go get Battle Cat and say, yo, man, give me a sound that matches where I'm at mentally right now. Because my bar structure and what I've studied, what I found is right or wrong is different now than a 19, 20-year-old in 1990, you know, becoming a boot camp recruit in a movement. I'm now in lead of that movement. So you will want to know what I think as a leader right now. What do I do to adjust that into a 20-something standard?
Well, that ties directly into one of the themes of X-Clan that I always thought was intriguing, which was the Crossroads. Because for me, that idea and that symbolism was always important because I believe that we're almost daily at a crossroads of what we need to do, what we should do, what we want to do, and what we end up doing.
Right.
So for you, break down for you the significance of that back in the genesis of X-Clan and then how that applies today.
There's not too much changed as far as what I'm choosing to approach. The ignorance in lyrics still exists. The injustice in the streets still exists. You know what I'm saying? So the adjustments are just basically to avoid the enemy, which is anyone that would blackball what we're doing in the name of preserving intelligence. Okay? And now I have more people willing to assist me than go against me. Okay? So from the eras, I really don't have to switch up. The upgrade is natural. Okay? Right. The upgrade is natural. Only thing that, you know, I basically writing and stuff like that, it's technology to me. I don't have to go back and be like, let me go study my cadence or get back into the thing. I live in the gym. I live in what that is. So bar-wise, it's not an adjustment there. It's just really the attention span of the audience of today is a total negative versus the research mentality that you have to have. Okay? Back then, people were digging in crates and researching and reading books. Now we're skimming with a thumb on a device, skimming through information, and none of these people are speed readers. Okay? So I'm a research artist coming in a skim generation. That's really the only adjustment.
Now let me ask you this, because I agree with that. But I also have another layer of this question though. Because okay. Using an example, A Day of Outrage, Operation Snatchback.
Okay.
This is in 1990 in the height or one of the heights of the conscious rap movement and all of this. Okay. That being said, that song in particular is also very anti-police brutality and standing up to the police, among yes. many other things on that song.
Yes.
But that does take time to listen, pay attention to, decode, all these things. It's not as brazen as Fuck the Police, Sound of the Police, right. Friendly Game of Baseball, which is even still metaphorical, but yours was still even deeper than all of that. So my question is, how did you believe, take solace, comfort in delivering a message that's so important, but making it so detailed and layered that yes. It wasn't so overt?
We can't make ourselves targets. more than we are. Okay? We already, in this skin, I'm already a threat. But if I paint my head neon and put a big FTP on the side of my face, I'm asking for it. Okay? The way Malcolm went out, the way Martin went out is an example. So in a movement where now, where the mission will not be televised, I'm going against the grain of that. I can't take a song that needs to be heard and go for the ego of the anthem of it, okay? And be like, let me write this so everybody can understand. It got to be coded, because truly our movement against the beast has to be coded, okay? It has to be the language of the people. So what you're doing is what it was written for. Like, yo, that was a deep message. You said some things, because now you look at the people on the street now rioting. Now, you know, people's moms will go out on the street, leave work, and walk out here at Injustice. These are people that will be looking at the windows, you know, out of their workplace and looking like what's going on outside instead of going out and being a part. Okay? So I had to write for the true Underground Railroad of this, if you will. Okay? I had to write in that code because everything is not for everyone, bro. And it's hard because when you got such a platform, you want to be like, yo, man, let's go ahead. But it could be as disastrous as Kanye West saying, George Bush is a racist. Okay? You don't take a platform that they're opening to hip hop that we don't have access to and spoil it, because all of us become that. Okay? I didn't think that was a mark. That's common sense. If you're not in our neighborhood helping us and you're letting the injustice keep happening, 1 + 1 = 2. I don't need to blast that out there to say, yeah, I was bold enough to call George Bush a racist on such and such. But what did it do? All he did was turn the TV off, drink tea, and plan to get the devices of nuclear destruction from other countries and continue to put our people at risk. What does that do? You got nothing off. You come home into the hood and get a pat on the back. That's what stops me from being, you know, fuck the police. Fuck, you know, even FTP. I coded it. You know, I coded it to where it was like, there's certain things that need to be talked about. I blast on dirty police, period. So when you listen to the song and I'm showing you the evidence of receipts of how people were handled. When I say Eleanor Bumpers, when I say Stephen Biko, when I say all these different people on there that were done wrong by the system globally, it's not against American police. It's against the whole status of you being an overseer of people, promoting that slave mentality, and then what you do with it. I think that message is more important than just getting somebody angry in the streets. Because people follow music, bro. They'll go slap a cop listening to it in the earphones, smoke enough herb, or do whatever people do, drinking whatever you drink, and you might just think like, yo, man, I feel like this. Let me get out my car, man, just be disrespectful right now. Yeah. We do have that much influence, man.
No, I know. I'm an example of that.
You feel me, brother? So we have to be careful with how we do this. It is a great responsibility. And my elders were there with me to remind me of this. Okay? That's why you don't hear a lot of cursing on X-Clan album. You could probably point out 3 curses on those projects. You know, and then I stopped completely. On my later project, I don't even curse at all. So these are the elements that I brought to the Red Pill. Okay? I censored this showing. The first showing I let go, I did a live broadcast as if they were there with us. Okay? This one, I kind of cut back on certain things. There's probably like 5, 6 curses the whole event. Because one, you come into a place where X-Clan is and Public Enemy, so people are kind of like, oh, I can't sing this song. I can't sing this song. But the artists that I have don't have those kind of songs in their catalog. I think the roughest lyricist on there probably was Wise Intelligent. And he's different. He's unapologetic about his situation. And he has reason to be. Some people just don't, you know, like I can get over myself today and speak like this. And some people like, hell no. I need to let the world know we're mad that somebody put a knee on the back of a man and held him down till he was dead. And all people had to do was film it and didn't jump on the cops and take their guns and arrest them, he could be angry at that. I can't tell him chill out, so I let him get his expression off because, yeah, I feel like that inside too. I just found another way to vent it, okay? If I'm so disturbed by them, then they don't know what pinches my nerve. So if I say, yo, the better way to handle is that I'm going to give different aspects of that feeling in my concert. So you have Wise Intelligence view, you have Soleil's view, you have Sarok's view, you have Public Enemy's view, you have everybody's view on how we want to see freedom for artistry so we can speak eloquently to our people and in harmony with good music. Give these people a reason. I'm bringing Dr. Dre's cousin, who is my longtime comrade, to the thing to add on to the great production that we have. So you already know I'm ready to make a chronic for conscious music.
And that's Sir Jinx, for those that don't know.
That is correct. So Sir Jinx with me, having molded artists like Ice Cube, Xzibits, and yo-yos and all of that kind of thing. He never got his full thrust into the game. So now, 30 years later, what the hell does he sound like? Okay? So now I'm taking a piece of some of the greatness of the environment that I'm in and saying, yo, what would Wise Intelligence sound like if he had Dr. Dre style production? What would Planet Asia or Makiba Mooncycle or somebody, any artist of underground caliber sound like with that higher production that they feel is so out of range? Production is easy nowadays, but the name on the production is not easy to get.
Right.
Okay. I can make you a Dr. Dre style beat, but it's not Dr. Dre.
Yes.
So now you got the production stamp to say, damn, this dude just did a conscious chronic. I can take the lineup on this show right now and make an album. Who wouldn't buy it? Chuck D, Brother J, Wise Intelligence, Cyrock, Soleil, Sir Jinx, Mad Lion, Medusa, Maestro, all on one project. And then I'm sprinkling in Brand Nubian, Dead Press, this, that, and the other. Wait till you see part 2 of Red Pill. And I'm not getting people hyped. I'm just saying it's a series. So don't treat it like, hey, I missed it. I hope y'all do good. No, you want to support us because you buying tickets says to the people that want to sponsor this to say, oh, there is a following for that. Because guess what? They don't believe that there's a sponsor for anything organic in this day and stage. This is like creating a vegan burger for Burger King. Like nobody's going to buy it. They come here for the Whopper.
In the beginning, hip-hop was ruled by the East Coast. Then the West Coast rose to prominence thanks to gangster rap. Crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. Hip-hop changed the world. Gangster rap changed the narrative.
I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world.
And then changed the world again.
Cause I'll come and take your life away.
The history of gangster rap features unheard stories, unseen photos and documents, all with exclusive interviews from the founders and players who shaped gangster rap.
I think a real gangster rapper has to scare you a little bit.
The history of gangster rap written by veteran rap journalist Soren Baker. In stores now.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Quick. Be sure to pick up my homeboy Soren Baker's book, The History of Gangster Rap, if you really want to know what we do.